Oh, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to 4Strategy Gaming. I'm going to be casting a game for you today between EG's Idra and OGS MC. Now, this game is from DreamHack. I just wanted to cast this for those who didn't get to see the game. Definitely an interesting series between these two players, to say the least. So, yeah, here we go. Let's take a look. Here we are, of course, on Metalopolis. This is a Protoss versus Zerg, and once more, that is Idra versus OGS MC. Of course, we can see OGS MC as our Protoss player here spawning in the 12 o'clock position, and in the 6 o'clock, we do have EG's Idra. You can see Idra already setting his unit rally point to right outside of his base, and clearly that's where his Zerglings will be going once they spawn eventually later down the road. So we all know who Idra is as American players, and hopefully you guys know who OGS MC is. Touted by some as the best player in the world, and I know that is quite a statement. I'm not necessarily saying that is my opinion, but there's definitely a group of people who would say that he is one of the best, and I can't say that he is by any means bad. Definitely a very talented player, both of these guys are. So yeah, looking forward to casting and showing you guys this matchup. I think this is going to be the only one that I actually record today. Earlier in the day, God, I don't know how many videos. I think I posted like 7 videos or something absolutely absurd like that. My hands were a little tied today. I didn't have the time to come up with the strategy video. I think I said that I was going to do that today. Now, as a result, that's going to be delayed till tomorrow. So there will be a strategy and likely a Like a Boss episode that's coming out tomorrow. We can see right now Idra starting off with the pool inside of his base, and looks like he is delaying that extract right now, not getting that quite as of yet. Maybe holding off and just going queen heavy. That's something we've been seeing a lot of Zerg players do. Spinishua in particular, a player who's been very known for his queen heavy play against Protoss, basically holding back on that extractor till about after the after the 40 supply mark. We can see right now Idra is going to be forced to come down with 2 drones to drop this expo. He needs 1 drone to chase around that probe and the other drone to actually lay that down, but no, pylon gets dropped by MC. Very nice play on his part. So that pylon there is going to force Idra to actually wait up until he's got Zerglings out. You can see that also forced him to drop that extractor down, because that's basically his best response right now. He's going to have to wait until these Zerglings come out, kill off that pylon, and then try. And actually, look at that. MC canceling it. Going to drop it again to try to continue up this delay as long as possible. Now, taking a look inside MC's base, we can see pretty standard fare. He does have that Cybernetics core making its way on through. And does he get the pylon down again? Yes, he does. So MC getting that pylon down twice. And you know what he's going to do? He's just going to cancel that again before it finishes. So just being a huge nuisance right now. Idra coming out with those first 2 Zerglings. He's got 2 more on the way, as well as Queens coming through. You can see he has started mining some gas here as well. Let's see if MC does end up canceling that before it finishes. Yes, he does. So look at that, not taking as much of an econ loss. We can also see MC up with both of those assimilators right now. He's got that warp gate research coming out. Zealot's being chrono boosted, and then that stalker shortly thereafter. Zealot's going to be making his way straight to Idra's drone. Wants to get that bad boy out of his base as soon as possible. Taking a look over here for Idra. How's everything going for him? Looks like he's still doing with the Vespian gas. I'm going to be interested to see if he does pull guys off the gas once he reaches 100. Looks like he will. So going to be in those last 4 Vespian right now, bring him to 100. Going to let him get that metabolic boost now, pulling the guy back to the resource line. Of course, it's going to allow him, as we've mentioned quite a bit in the past, it's going to allow him to kind of really work on his econ early game. Going to be able to get a lot of drones up, be able to afford that queen as soon as that pops as well. So taking a look over here, we got 2 Zerglings chasing down MC's probe here, and he needs to be careful. He's got that stalker coming down to him. Needs to definitely pull away. There we go. So Idra, again, forced to pull away right there. Doesn't want to engage that stalker right now. Wouldn't be the best of situations. Idra taking advantage of the high ground and hightailing those Zerglings out of there. There you go, Idra. Nice play, I would have to say. Second queen is up. Going to be dropping that tumor. Headed on down to this expo, which is just about to pop. Let's take a look. MC starting things off with a Stargate. Fantastic work. So we are not seeing a 4-gate. We're not seeing a 3-gate robo. We're starting 1 gateway into Stargate. May very well see some Void Ray play. Also, of course, Phoenixes can be quite effective as well. Idra, whoa, needs to be careful with this Overlord. He's got a couple Zerglings, but that one stalker can certainly handle them right now. And wow, look at that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know what? I'm not just going to ignore him. I'm going to say thank you. And then I'm going to continue this cast. So thank you very much. Beautiful. Now I can go ahead and do this. So there we go. Stalker moving on out. And that's what I was that's exactly what I was talking about. Idra has to be really careful. He's obviously going to lose that second Stalker there as well. And that Overlord gets dropped. Metabolic Blue's just about to finish. So once that happens, he could probably wrap his Zerglings around. And he might actually be able to take out those Stalkers. Now taking a look over here, we can of course see MC starting out with that first Phoenix, second Phoenix on the way. Idra is supply blocked right now because of that loss. Obviously going to force him to get out another Overlord. Look at this, Idra going for that next Expo right now. So man, oh man, definitely spreading himself thin. Needs to be really careful. I'm pretty sure he has no idea right now. Yeah, he doesn't know that those Phoenixes are going to be coming into play. So that, of course, is quite the cause for concern. We do have a pylon down here for MC that leads us to believe that he's going to be looking to expand at some point in the near future. Most likely, once he's moving out with his Phoenixes, he's probably going to wait till he has 3, possibly even 4, before he actually heads out. That's going to be kind of the most effective way to run around, pick things off. You can snipe those queens so very quickly. We see that Roach Warren, and actually, besides those queens, no anti-air. We don't have an Evo chamber right now, so he's not going to be able to get up those Spore Crawlers. He's going to have a tough time. We can see this one Phoenix the next Phoenix coming up is going to be rallied straight to these that are out, but this is going to be very difficult right now for Idra to deal with. He's only got, let's see, he's got the 3 queens, I believe, right now. Yes, he does. He's got the 3. He's got no more in production, though. He just started his lair. This Phoenix harass is going to be pretty devastating. One queen getting sniped down far away. Idra needs to engage with this queen. He needs to do something here. Queen's going to get dropped right now. There we go. Finally moving forward to do some damage with that, but this is not looking good at all. Idra's going to have a really hard time, and here comes the other Phoenix. So Idra likely to lose all of these queens. Yes, he will. He's going to lose every single queen. There we go. Spore Caller out. I must have missed that Evo chamber before. I must have sounded like an idiot when you guys saw that Evo chamber out, huh? But anyways, yeah, the queen getting dropped so very quickly, and Idra in a ton of trouble, trying to rally his Overlords over the Spore Caller for when it finishes, but he's going to be losing so much right here. And the biggest thing about all of this right now, it is buying MC a ton of time. Look at that. MC's getting his Expo up. He's feeling really safe, getting a couple gateways out, but this harassment is so devastating for Idra. Let's take a look at those unit loss tab right now. 9 units killed, only 1 of which has been workers, so he's lost a bunch of Zerglings as well as those queens. So MC, tremendous job right now. He just laid the hurt down on Idra right there. He was not prepared for Phoenixes whatsoever. And you could see as a result, he's just losing every queen. He's got 3 more queens coming on the way. But again, with these 5 Phoenixes now, it lets you 6 now even. It lets you snipe down queens so very fast. He's going to be able to harass that worker line too. The Spore Caller is absolutely necessary here for Idra. We can see right now, second Extractor up, but Idra definitely taking a beating. And I think it is not done yet. Those Phoenixes are still going to be able to roll around and do quite a bit of damage. Back here for MC again, we can see he's just got plenty of time to do basically whatever he wants. He does have this one Void Ray out as well, so he's just going to work on his econ and continue up this harassment as much as possible, and this will continue to be effective until we get some solid anti-air from Idra. Of course, Idra again does have those Spore Crawlers, and as long as he keeps those Overlords as well as those queens near those Spore Crawlers, they are much safer. We do have that Hydra Den in as well, so as soon as Hydras come out, that's going to help him quite a bit, but right now he's got no Hydras on the board. He just can't afford it. His Vespian is hurting way too much, and look at this, just going to work on all of these queens, and the Void Ray going to start powering down this hatchery. Not powering it down, but definitely doing a lot of damage to it. It doesn't have anything to be powered down with. And going to be losing this other one. My God. So one Void Ray doing all the damage. The Phoenix is just going to be harassing and picking off any queens that try to go again because queens are the only anti-air, but we do have 5 Hydras coming out. Once those come into play, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for MC to deal with this. I feel like he can still probably pick things up, but Idra definitely needs to get those all together in one big group. And no, he's going to be losing this one Hydra. Yeah, he needs to get them together in one big group and snipe this down very quickly. Idra just losing so much, so many Overlords, and I think he's going to lose his Expo. This is very dangerous. Here we go, finally going to be pulling forward. He needs to again get these all in at one time. He can't be going streaming in one at a time. That is a very bad situation, and look at that, just MC absolutely demolishing this anti-air here from Idra. Just picking everything up one at a time. He's low on energy though, so now is the time. There we go. Idra dropping MC's Void Ray, and for now MC's going to be forced to push away again. He just does not have enough energy left on those Phoenixes. So yes, Idra has lost a ton. 23 units killed so far from MC. Idra's only managed to kill 3 off, and that is, of course, a big discrepancy between the two. Let's take a look at the income tab. MC slightly ahead in Vespian, about even. He's actually a little bit behind in the minerals gathered, but again, the amount of damage that he's done thus far is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, taking a look in his base, we can see that Robo Bay coming out, so he's going to be getting ready to get some Colossus, and that, of course, is going to do quite well against the Hydras that Idra was forced to come out with just to deal with this Phoenix harassment. So very effective tactic there by MC. You can see he is also getting up his 3rd. As a result, Idra is going to need to get a 4th at some point because he does not want to go 3 base to 3 base against a Protoss player. It looks like Idra is going to be moving out, going to be doing some scouting right now, and this, of course, is going to be checking for that 3rd, which he will see as soon as he gets those Zerglings over here. So there you go. Also, nice Overlord scout moving on over. He sees that robotics facility, so he knows he might have to worry about those Colossus. He actually hasn't seen the bay as of yet, but he does know about that facility. So once he gets wind of that bay as well, it's going to be a problem. And here we go. Phoenix is moving on over. Going to be sniping down that one Overlord. Zergling's tucked away in the corner here. Idra doing what he can to do some creep spread. We do have this nice observer placement over here as well from MC. So Idra right now just kind of macroing up after dealing with all the harassment, still getting supply blocked. Those Phoenixes just doing absolutely demolishing amounts of work here on the Overlords of Idra. Just very, very nice harassment from him. Sorry for that beep. That was my desktop, in case you're wondering. And Hydras, oh man, tearing apart. Nice play by Idra. Just having those Hydras there, that was more a luck of anything. But yeah, unfortunately for MC, walking those Phoenixes right over those Hydras. Definitely a big loss there. Took a lot of damage. I think he lost at least 1, if not 2 there. And it looks like Idra, yes, finally, we're going to see him move down into his 4th, which is exactly what he needs. He spotted this Expo over here. He knows that MC is on 3 bases. So as such, he knows he needed to expand. MC could very well just sit on these 3 bases and then push out once he's kind of amassed a force. That is, of course, quite an effective tactic. But we will, of course, have to wait and see exactly what he does. We can see this Twilight Council just finishes. It looks like he's going to be getting that Blink research. That's actually going to be quite effective if this progresses into the late game and Idra happens to get some Broodlords into play. Those Blink Stalkers definitely doing a really nice job about that. And look at this. We are seeing a push right now from Idra. Idra really feeling bold at this point. He's coming out with a ton of Overlords as well. That is going to be used to spread some of that creep, increase the mobility of these units. And man, oh man, Idra definitely risking it here. This is a big, big push. Taking a look at that army tab, we can see Idra does have that slight advantage right now. Idra going to try to take advantage of that timing window, but look at that beautiful concave force fields. But Idra burrowing, getting those roaches up close. Going to be trying to target fire down those Colossus, but no, more force fields going down. And so those roaches weren't able to get within range there because of those additional force fields. Really unbelievable there. We saw an excellent force field placement by MC, but Idra responding with those burrowed roaches and trying to snipe down those Colossus. But again, we did see MC doing a great job of microing those back, and it looks like with a few more warpins, MC is able to hold this off, and Idra is going to be forced to retreat right now, wants to pull back with his Overlords as well, and just look at that, Idra on the offensive. Definitely, that could have been much more devastating. Going to be actually trying to snipe down the Stargate. I think he's going to get it. Vision from the Overlord of the high ground. Going to stick around. No, he is not. Doesn't want to lose any unnecessary forces just for the sake of sniping down that one Stargate. Actually, no, a few more roaches here. Going to see if they can get it down, but we can see MC is going to be responding here, pushing out. Idra, is he going to sacrifice these guys for it? No, doesn't even get it, unfortunately. But Blank Stalker's taking down that one Overlord and almost getting that second. Very, very close. That was a really nice offensive, though, by Idra. I'm definitely pretty impressed with that. We can see a few more Phoenixes moving around, trying to snipe some of the Overlords, because MC did know that there was a ton of Overlords sent in that engagement. Actually, he's going to be able to get these few. Idra not pulling these back in time. There we go with that Overlord speed. Should be able to move them back, and some nice Corruptor action here from Idra. That is, of course, going to demolish these Phoenixes if they can happen to catch up here. And it looks like MC is actually going to be mounting a counterattack now. Looks like he is rallying up his forces, sending out those Overlords. We do have Zerglings checking for that 4th base of MC. We can see, of course, that is not up. And it looks like actually MC going to be going for his 4th at this high yield. Idra wants to scout that out. He needs to get that down as soon as possible. Doesn't want MC to sit on that high yield for very long at all. Idra very roach heavy. Let's take a look at that army tab. Idra definitely in the lead right now, 119 to the 82. And look at those Corruptors hunting down some Colossus. They are blood bloodthirsty and ready to knock some of those guys out of the sky, and actually going to be able to get a few right here. Colossus out of position, sniping down the one. There goes the second one. Roach is pushing forward as well. We're seeing some nice force fields here from Idra, but the Roach is still pretty much within range. Lots of corruption going down on these Stalkers. Going to let those Roaches and Hydra snipe him down a little bit quicker, but no, it looks like MC does have enough to actually fend this off right now. MC sitting with quite a few of those Blink Stalkers, blinking back a few when they get low. Some nice micro there. That Immortal, I'm sure, went to work on those Roaches, but was sniped down by the Hydralisk. MC now again sitting with this high yield. As soon as that finishes, Idra's going to be in a little bit of trouble because he will be on the 4 base, and at the same, oh man, MC warping in some Zealots over here. That is definitely going to come into play at some point in the near future. Definitely going to be interested to see that. We can see Idra going to be keeping this one guy on patrol here, but MC with this base, does Idra know about? He must know about this. Yes, of course he does. He does have the Xel'Naga Tower, so he sees this here and he realizes, I have got to push. I have got to take that out. MC with quite a few sentries, probably going to be seeing some more force fielding action. We don't have any more Colossus on the board right now, so here comes the push, and there we go. Some good force fields cutting back the ability of movement here, and we can see at the same time Zealot's streaming into Idra's 4th right now. Idra needs to be very careful. He's got a ton of Corruptors, but that is doing him no good at the moment since our buddy MC here has no Colossus, and it doesn't look like he intends on getting any more Colossus either, so those Corruptors kind of useless right now, and Idra forced away from his 4th because of MC's Zealots over here. So stop mining for a little bit of time, and that's obviously a big advantage given the fact that MC once again has this high yield up. So any reduced mining time that Idra gets over here is going to be definitely very detrimental to him. And MC looks like he's continuing up. He's going to just stick with his Gateway army with some Immortals mixed in there as well. I feel like he's just not even going to bother going back to Colossus, just knowing the number of Corruptors that Idra has invested in. This is a lot of supply right here. Let's take a look at the numbers. We have 11 Corruptors. That is a lot of supply that is basically going to do Idra no good unless we see a switch back to Colossus. And look at this, MC going to be getting out those Templar Archives. So very nice play by MC, switching up his unit composition based on the fact that Idra has invested so much in these Corruptors here. So very, very nice, and Idra needs to definitely do something about that. We can see a Greater Spire coming out, also Pathogen Glands. Obviously that Infestation Pit is up. MC just moving around, sniping down some Overlords, and again taking advantage of that mobility there of the Blink Stalkers. And here we go, Idra chasing down these Blink Stalkers. He's going to have a hard time actually catching up with those though. Needs to be careful, getting within range, going down with a few Corruption. Idra trying to get a good concave, not the best of areas to fight in though. He needs to just be careful again about those force fields in there. Actually though, we pretty much have no sentries right now, so I guess force fields won't really come into play. We do still have this one observer chilling out over here. MC hiding a few Phoenixes over here as well. So yeah, very, very intense game thus far. Again, we do have that Great Spire just about finished. And actually, once that pops, we will actually see Idra be able to take advantage of those Corruptors that he has right now that he hasn't been able to make much use of. So he is, of course, going to be changing those into Broodlords. And that way, he's not basically going to have these wasted units. And look at this, we do have 2 Colossus coming out right now as well. So it looks like MC deciding he wants to go back to Colossus. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. I don't think there have been any other drops or counterattacks yet. Nice placement over here again by MC. So yeah, Idra going to be getting out those Broodlords, also coming out with those Carapace level 2. Where are those Broodlords coming in? There we go. So Broodlords right over here, and actually once those come into play, he's going to be in a pretty solid position. Now Blink Stalkers, just the same mentalities against Zerglings. They're able to stay away from those Broodlings if they micro back. And my only concern here is, does he have enough Corruptors now to deal with this Colossus? He should. There aren't a lot of Colossus on the board. We can see just those 2. But here we go. MC making a push right now. Idra doesn't want to get caught out of position. Just needs to be careful about where he engages. Pushing forward right now with his Broodlords. He also needs to be very, very careful. This is a big, big mineral investment, these Broodlords here. Besides the Corruptors themselves, transferring them into Broodlords, of course, cost minerals and resources. So he wants to make sure he doesn't lose those to something like Blink Stalkers. That'd be very, very unfortunate. A couple of Broodlings chilling out here by the Xel'Naga Tower. I think he's just going to go around and try to pick off the resources, but again, needs to be incredibly careful with these guys. At the same time, MC is going to be avoiding the Broodlords and pushing out against the army of Idra. Idra needs to be careful. Again, those Blink Stalkers target firing down those Broodlords. Big storms going down on all of those Hydras, and those just got melted away. Broodlords very low. They're a little too close to those Blink Stalkers right now. Hydra's doing what they can though, taking a good chunk of the ground forces of MC out, but no, Idra just lost everything. He's got 38 Zerglings though, 5 more Broodlords coming in and 10 Roaches. Now MC is going to continue the push, and there is the GG. Idra just calling GG out of there. I think he was concerned concerned that he didn't have enough once he did reinforce. We can see Idra was at 130. He also had those 36 Zerglings and those 9 Roaches coming out. So once those came into play, he could have done a little bit of damage. But MC obviously in the better position at this point, and plus the fact that they're Blink Stalkers and Colossus on the board was very hard for him to deal with. I think the other really big thing, oh no, he did have Corruptors. Okay, kind of wish that he stayed in the game just to see what he could have done. But obviously Idra knows better than I when it comes to his gameplay and what he's capable of doing. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game between EG's Idra and OGSMC. This is game number 1 in the series, and we'll be actually moving on to game number 2 in just one moment, so hold on tight.